like I say, he kind of threw me off my game because I did not expect that bite back. I'm thinking he'll be like, okay, all right, but I didn't get that. I didn't. So.
Objection non-responsive. You never, did you ever ask Dr. Gonzalez to leave the room to accompany you to any other room to talk to her?
Nope.
So you mentioned there the Chancellor saying something, I'm your boss. What specifically did he say?
Yeah, something to the degree of, you know I'm your boss, or I know your boss, or something like that. And I tell your boss, but it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something to that degree.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that was still interfering with an investigation.
Did you cite him for that?
No.
Why not?
Well, when I left, I immediately I briefed the chief. You got a little old me going over there dealing with the Chancellor. The fact that he didn't leave, I didn't feel comfortable with that.
Sir, you say in paragraph 2 of your affidavit that you were charged with enforcing the laws of the state of Texas on HCC property.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so.
And you don't discriminate against people by doing that, do you, sir? If someone's breaking the law, you're going to enforce the laws, right?
I'm going to do my job.
So why didn't you cite the Chancellor if you thought that he was interfering with a police investigation?
Well, actually, because he's a Chancellor.
Okay. You go on to say in paragraph 5, I remember having my body cam on and operating at the time when we arrived to interview Mrs. Gonzalez, and that body cam footage was uploaded in HCC's computer system to go along with the investigative report on Mrs. Gonzalez's domestic complaint against her husband, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. So you had a body cam on you at the time?
Yes.
When did you turn it on?
When I left. When did I turn it on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, when I arrived. When I arrived, like right up possibly the elevator, because it goes back a couple minutes.
Okay. The first floor elevator, meaning when you got on.
Once I arrived on the 12th floor, I hit my body cam.
Okay. And when do you remember turning it off as it relates to this incident?
When I left. When I walked, pretty much when I got back to the elevator, going back down.
Okay. And you say that it was uploaded to HCC's system. How do you know it was uploaded to HCC's system?
It was docked on their database.
Okay,
Well,
what does that mean?
Their body cams. You take it, you dock it. Pulls all the footage off. It's on their database.
And where is this docking station located?
Well, I don't know now.
No, at the time, sir.
At the time,
Yes, sir.
it was in the where the armor is, where everybody go gets their weapons. Everybody pick up a body cam, dock a body cam.
And that's at the HCC PD headquarters?
Yes, sir.
And what address is that?
It's been a while. Don't know.
And so after that shift, was it at the end of the shift that you docked it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Did you ever review the footage of that event after the event?
No.
Okay. So you believe it would have uploaded because you docked it, but you don't really have any personal knowledge of that, do you?
I'm not sure why it wouldn't. All of my other stuff uploaded.
Okay. So you, with Chancellor Maldonado there, according to you, according to your affidavit, did you ask her some questions about the complaint?
I never got a chance to fully interview her like I wanted to, because He was interfering. At no time could I talk to her or get a word in. No time. He's immediately barking out stuff. I let the sergeant know as I'm walking out, saying, well, I briefed him. This is what's going on. I'm gonna blow this. I'm gonna leave. It's yours. At that time, Moore was the sergeant. I was the officer. So for me to give him that information, it's kind of, that's his deal now. He should have, which he followed up, from my understanding.
Okay, so Sergeant Moore arrived as you were leaving.
He was arriving at the tail end, and when I seen him, I pretty much, hey, let me explain to you what's going on. I let him know.
Okay, where were you and Sergeant Moore when you had this conversation with him to essentially turn this over to him? Were you in the Chancellor's office, or were you out in the lobby area? Or where
kind of, yeah, he came through, it was, I guess, the Swedish, what y'all call it.
Okay, were you and Sergeant Moore in the Chancellor's presence or away from him when you had this conversation?
He was like walking in the door, and I seen him, and I went over and told him. We don't really discuss. It's still a police department. I just let him know what was going on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Portis, I understand that. I'm not trying to be tricky here. I'm trying to understand when Sergeant Moore arrived on the scene.
Okay.
And you're telling me that you tried to question Dr. Gonzalez, but according to you, the Chancellor interfered and wouldn't let you. And at some point you said, I'm out of here. And then you update Sergeant Moore. Is that correct?
Objection form. You can answer all of those questions.
To walk you through it again. Once I was there, once I arrived, he says domestic violence needs to be reported at home. Told him it needs to come from her. Asked her. I told him it needs to come from her. Before that, though, she said, I want to report domestic violence on my husband at home. Now, I did ask him to leave 2 or 3 times. He was adamant about staying. Adamant. At that point, it kind of got real quiet. A pucker moment, as I call it. Oh, wow, what do I do? That was a moment. And here comes more. I said, well, hey, let me explain to you what's going on. She wants to file a complaint on her husband for domestic violence. That was it. That was my involvement. Very minimal. I'm giving you the facts of what transpired. I stick by what I wrote, and that's it.
Okay.